Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to all the audience. Today, I'm Muhammad Hafiz Aiman bin Shukri as your moderator in forum will be discuss the topic about poverty. As we know, majority of Malaysians are living below the poverty line. So, what is poverty? Poverty is a state or condition in which a person or community lack the financial resources and essential for a minimum standard of living. Okay, before we start the discussion, let me introduce our panel for today. Okay, for our first panel is Prime Minister Department for Economic Affairs, Datuk Hanif Azman bin Daud. How are you, Datuk?
I am fine, thank you.
Okay, so for our second panel is our middle income panel, Anas Hakimi bin Haizal. How are you, Anas?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
Okay, next panel is the member of Teguh NGO, that is Nur Aima Akilah and Nur Fazira. How are you?
I'm good, thank you for inviting me.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Without further ado, let me ask one question to Datuk Hanif Azman. Okay. The question is, what is poverty rate in Malaysia and what is the impact of COVID-19 on Malaysia absolute poverty rate?
Okay, thank you. Thank you to moderator Encik Hafiz for giving me opportunity to talk in this forum tonight. So based on your question about the poverty rate, Malaysia and the impact of COVID-19 to poverty rate, to be honest, Malaysia poverty rate spiked to 8.4% in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As we compare in 2019, the poverty rate stood at 5.6%. We can see that the rate increased than year before. The pandemic has caused restriction to people's income, leading to many more households being exposed to poverty, especially for those in the B40 and most vulnerable category. However, Malaysia has been successful overall in managing and improving the quality of life. DEC housing remain at the Malaysia Sustainable Development Goal based on the poverty line income. The issue such as malnutrition, the increasing burden of healthcare, the digital divide, inequality, environmental concern, and inclusive development were the biggest challenge in achieving the government agenda of eradicating poverty by 2030. This will be setting up and chairing the poverty circle consisting of representatives from the government, private sector, civil society, and academic to formulate strategy on the best way forward to manage poverty during the pandemic. The Minister of Head of Malaysia, Kari Jamaluddin, say we live in pandemic. This means we will live with COVID-19. Last but not least, I hope we can get together, even have a different race, state, and religion to overcome this poverty issue in our beloved country. So, before I end my talk, I would like to remind that every single citizen in our country should take part to minimize poverty issue and break the COVID-19 chain. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Datuk, for a good explanation. Okay, for the second question, I would like to ask NGO member, that is Nur Aima Akilah, how many population of poverty in Malaysia and what is your donation?
Okay, thank you, Hafiz. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Aima, and I am one of the group member of My Kasih Foundation, NGO. Poverty reduction in Malaysia was steadily progressing until the COVID-19 pandemic hit. The poverty rate decreased from 7.6% in 2016 to 5.6% in 2019, according to Free Malaysia Today. But however, due to COVID-19, the poverty rate rose to 8.4% in 2020. Under the current circumstances, more than 2.7 million Malaysian children come from households that cannot afford the cost of school, and according to the World Bank, 50% of Malaysians experience moderate to severe food insecurity in 2018. However, NGOs are rising to the challenge, attempting to close the poverty gap and end the consequences that go along with it. My Kasih is a leader in tackling poverty in Malaysia by providing inclusive aid to the B14. My Kasih Food Aid Program provides impoverished households with at least RM80 per month for only a year. This ensures people do not become aid reliant and are empowered to become self-sufficient while being able to meet their basic needs. By 2019, My Kasih had provided roughly 280,000 families with 260 million worth of cashless aid. Efforts by Makasih in tackling poverty in Malaysia have provided aid and educational service for the socio-economic advancement of B14 families. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nur Aima, for your explanation. Okay, next question. I also want to ask one more question for NGO group member, that is Nur Fazira. Okay, this question is, what steps are being taken by NGO to reduce urban poverty, and how do NGO invite the public to donate funds to help those in need? Can you explain?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you for moderator Encik Hafiz. Okay, I am one of the group NGO Teguh. We provide various awareness programs and help them by providing job opportunity. With the availability of better job opportunity, they can change their life. In addition, we also provide food aid every 3 months to those who really need it. We provide dried food such as sugar, cooking oil, rice, fast food, and many more. With this help, a little bit can reduce the misery of their life. This most is the result of the donation from regular donor. And the second question is, we invite the public to donate by doing charity sales. With these charity sales, our NGO get 50% of each item sold. In addition, we also launch donation fund in each leading company to raise fund. The company that donate will obtain that uh, exemption from the government. In addition, the NGO also join force with JKM and Zakat Board to provide appropriate assistance to those in need. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Nur Fazira. For the last question is, For our last panel, there is Anas Hakimi. Okay, this question is, what did you face as one of the B40? Can you explain it?
Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good evening to all the panels. And thank you to the moderator Hafiz Aiman and the organizer for this Fight Poverty Right Now program for inviting and giving me a chance to speak out. Before I go any further, I'm just going to say sorry if there is any internet connection problem or anything, something like that. So my name is Anas Hakimi and I am 40 years old and one of the B40 in Malaysia. B40 is basically a household with income less than RM 4,360 in Malaysia. My life has been quite difficult, but since the pandemic hit us, it's just been way too hard for people, especially the B40. When the lockdown began in the early 2019, everything started to drastically change. In terms of my children education, our necessity, my source of income, and my mental health. I cannot even sleep properly at night, wondering what happened if something like this happened or something like that happened. It drains my mentality. Also, I am not well or smart enough to provide a proper education for my three beloved children. My children needs education, but I cannot teach them. I'm not smart. And when they have classes, online classes, they need to take turns to use my phone. I force them to study so that they do not become like me when they grow up. But when they ask me something, I cannot even help them. I agree that there are a lot of government initiatives out there to help the B40. But with the minimum salary that are way too low and also with the rising price of essential goods makes it harder for me. I currently work 3 jobs to support my family, but it is still not enough. I thank Allah for my three angels and my wife for always supporting me and giving me the energy to do this every day. I just hope that the government increase the minimum salary and control the price of essential goods. And I just hope that the government in the future will give us the B40 more initiative to help us. I thank you again for inviting me to this program, and I hope people out there and the authorities will do something in the future. So that's all for me. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you to Anas for the explanation. Okay, I think no more question for the panel, and I would like to thank you to all the panel for a good explanation. Okay, so we hope that the audience can gain a lot of information on on this discussion about the poverty. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.